Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Celebrity Cars. You clicked on the 2008 Porsche 911 Carrera. Here it is. So it's got a couple modifications done to it. It's had a recent service to the tune of about $8,000. You can find out all the information about miles and Carfax and all that stuff at celebritycars.com. I'm your living, breathing condition report here at Celebrity Cars. Welcome to Celebrity Cars. We're located just down the street from all the shiny lights on the strip. And you ever come here on vacation and you want to come see some cool cars, we've got Tupac's car over there. That's one of Al Capone's old cars right there too. Isn't that something? But anyway, yeah, you don't care. You want to look at this Porsche. Yeah, it's 2008, Arctic silver metallic, black leather interior, convertible. The top's in beautiful shape. Car's got some miles on it. I don't recall what they are, so go to Celebrity Cars to find that out. And so I'm the kind of the guy that goes over the nicks and chips and scratches and curb rash and whatever it may have and check out the glass. It just brings you a little closer to our cars than you would find normally on other sites in case you're looking for one of these and maybe this is a contender. With having miles and with it being driven and with it being 2008, it's not going to be perfect as far as paint's concerned. So how bad is it? Well, you can only get so much from photographs, so I'm going to point some things out and we can go from there. Some of these are clear coat matters, so a good polish would be able to make them go away. And then you have these. Couple little chips, really small ones, little larger ones, and then they get a little bigger here, here, and here, and here. There's one up here, and I'm kind of pointing them all out, kind of, sort of, because there's not that many. And normally this would be a true sea of small nicks and chips and all that kind of stuff. So there's one over here. Sorry, I'm getting in your way. There's one here. There's one here that was probably done a very long time ago. It's got a little bit of touch-up paint on it, which doesn't look so bad. Put some touch-up paint on it, get a good professional to buff and wax it, and a lot of these little things will go away. Got to be very delicate and very careful with it, or you just leave it alone, which I would recommend. Headlights look good. They've got a couple little marks in them from driving down the road, both of them. This one's got a little bit of a staining to it, but no super big deal. Down below here, the left and right turn signals have a considerable amount of fog on each side. So, yep, it's just pretty much the same as that one that you're looking at right now. It's not a big deal. You can still see through them, and there's always certain ways that you can go about fixing them, getting them replaced. Down here, this black cavity down here, this black plastic all seems to be in pretty good shape. This is all real nice shape. There's a little mark right here. There's a couple little stragglers here. This is just very normal wear, folks. This is just things. There's a couple small little itty bitty pebbles in up here. This is just from driving through the desert and the wind blowing and you got stuff blowing up. But we'll get those cleaned up and out of here. There's a very small separation between the black piece and the bumper down here towards the bottom. It's no big deal, just pointing it out, letting you know it is what it is. And then down here below, we don't have any further skirt, and I'm pretty sure there's probably, oh no, this feels pretty good. No, if there is anything underneath there, is very, very light. And then if we could work up here just a little bit further, and then we'll get away from this nose. Folks, they're so small. Couple real small ones here. The black license plate up front, in case you live in California or somewhere it requires a plate, it's already there. Let's work our way down the passenger side, shall we? We'll look up on the rest of the hood here. This all looks pretty darn good. I mentioned earlier about a detail. Yeah, this needs a good, polish and wax and stuff like that. And a couple really small, long time ago, little watermarks that you could barely see. All those stuff would disappear. This whole front fender here seems to be in good shape. I see a small little scrape right here. It seems to still be in the silver though, so that's interesting. You can barely see it. These are things you just don't see, folks, when you're normally shopping for a car. Every car has little scratches and stuff like that with some miles on it. So this front wheel looks terrific. These are aftermarket wheels too. They're forged fancy wheels. Look them up at celebritycars.com. They're very expensive wheels, some kind of magnesium, super, super cool. They're super sharp when they're cleaned up, and right now they're about as clean as they're gonna get. Brake caliper looks pretty good. A little bit of wear to it, but that's just what happens when you drive vehicles. Looking straight down the side, passenger side of the car here, I don't see any weird wiggles. I don't see any dings on my way down the car, so that looks good. And I remember cleaning underneath here on both sides today because I like to run my hand to make sure this doesn't feel like it jumped any parking lot pylons or, any bridges. So, I always get my down here and clean it up real well. So that's all been cleaned. Here is just some little nicks and stuff. There is no little clear bar patch right here that there normally is on a Porsche. So these are just really mild and you can barely see them. And there's a couple, there was a little chip there, but somebody put some touch-up paint on it, did it very well. And let's, we did that wheel. Let's do this wheel real quick and then I'll stand up just a little bit more. Yeah, this is a beautiful wheel. Fun to keep clean, goodness. Okay, all the wheel wells are real nice and clean inside here. The rear bumper looks good. I got a real small chip right here, I should point out. I showed these already, and we didn't really spend any time on the door. So let me look at the door. I was looking down the side of the door. I think there's one little chip in the door here. Nope, that was a bug. Okay, and I presume these are bugs too. Yep, okay. The door's beautiful, folks. All right, let's spin the butt end of this around just a little bit. I think everything looks pretty good back here. Oops, going the wrong way. To be honest, I didn't spend a whole lot of time back here. Somebody else cleaned this portion of the car. It's a beautiful silver. Looks really good in the light spinning it around. Back bunker, let's see if anybody backed in anything. Nope, I don't see any backed up in anything back here. I do see the paint's kind of crudted up along here and kind of crudted up along here. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm just pointing it out. This all looks terrific. You can barely see that, folks. I'm, just doing my job here. This all very nice and neat and clean. The convertible top, we'll get to this really in a second, but all this looks terrific over here. It looks good over there too, I just didn't mention it. And the passenger side here, here's your wheel, but rear wheel and tire. I don't see any driver's side significant curb rash of any kind. Wheel looks pretty darn good. I'm looking at it in a different light now than when I cleaned it. But yeah, this is really, folks, I got in here real good and, did all this kind of stuff. And really, it looks a little shinier right now only because this is damp, but these are made to be, more of a flat. And they certainly are. They're a flat black, all right. Rear quarter looks great. I did see something over here earlier. Here. Back to the passenger side. There's a mild mark here that is just in the clear coat. I know a good detailer would be able to get that out and that would disappear. And then there's two little small chips here that had some very well done touch-up paint that I didn't even see it until now. Again, these really nice touch-up jobs, we didn't have anything to do with it. Are done really nicely, and a long time ago I could see the clear coat on top of them as well, which you're supposed to do once you put in blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's very difficult to see. Driver's side, quarter panel, all this wonderful. I already told you about this was in good shape, just like the other side. Down here on the door, there's a little mark right there underneath the door handle. It's very mild. And yes, there's one right here, right outside the door that doesn't have any touch-up paint on it. So now you know what that looks like. And this all looks great. I see one more small chip, it's right there. It's super tiny. And okay, and my front driver's side wheel looks awesome. Everything looks good. Okay, back up here, windshield. Windshield has a couple little blips in it. You know why? Because this car was driven. It's gonna have a couple blips in the windshield. So just very small, none of them need to be repaired. You can't see them while you're driving. You're in good shape. There's no cracks of any kind. I know Jose's showing down the top of the dashboard while we're here, and that looks terrific. And here we go. Since we have the top down, we can see everything. Not a whole lot to report, folks, except this is pretty nice. I don't see any indentations in any of the leather. I don't see any rips. Is that a small rip over there on the passenger side? It's really small. It's really small. It's not as long as my fingernail across. I just pointed it out. I saw it, so I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, convertible top looks good over here. Passenger side all looks good. Now, there are mild abrasions getting in and out of the car on the plastic pieces on both sides. So it's safe to say this was enjoyed by 2 people probably at all times, because honestly, the driver's side looks exactly the same way. Door panel looks great. There's no wear on anything. There is a little in the leather, just, you know, over time. This isn't new anymore. It's almost 20 years old, so there's a little bit of wear on the leather. You know, open it up, closing the car. The buttons for the windows are great. The controls down here, the seats still go back and forth. Carpet looks good. Kind of smells new. I mean, it smells great. It's got a lot to do with the leather. And over here, yeah, same thing, getting in and out of the car. Just some abrasions in that plastic. The buttons work for the hood, and the button works for the rear bonnet. And we're all in good shape. Center console looks great. We'll look at all this stuff just a little bit more in the sunlight when we get outside. We'll even leave the top. We'll do whatever. I'm going to pull the top up so you guys can see it right now. But let's look at the engine compartment real quick. Nice clean engine compartment, your 3.6 liter. And once again, in case you missed it earlier, you did some fast forwarding, there's a lot of service that has been done to this car and the recent past. So make sure you go to Celebrity Cars to learn about it, because that's very important with these vehicles, is service and getting them looked at and all that stuff. Here's inside the front. The plastic, you know, this looks great. Looks kind of sort of new in here too, folks. You know, a lot of times you get these doors up here that are all banged up and these things are broke or missing, and you can tell that they've had to get to the battery 1,500 times and all that kind of stuff. This all looks like it's never been played with, touched at all. It's very nice. Underneath as well. Okay, I'm gonna put this roof up. Look at that. Okay, and while I'm in here, I'm going to run my finger across these buttons. Little lover boy on the radio. All right. No sticky buttons. How's that? Awesome. Yeah, see, this is what I was referring to earlier about the just the light abrasions getting in and out of the car. But, you know, this kind of happens to every car. The design kind of picked up the shoes a little bit more than they wanted to, I guess. But everything looks great. The carpet looks great. Everything looks great. Oh, yeah. I wanted to mention this too. You know, the door handle on the other side. This is what I saw the other day when this came in. First, I saw this. This is, to be honest with you, this little mark right here. You go get in and out of the car. Maybe it's probably somebody's ring. Get caught that each time. And then this leather right here, it's got just a little bit of wear on it, getting in and out of the car. But there's no broken pieces in here. Everything looks great. Rearview mirror's nice and clean. It's awesome. Okay, yeah, like I said, there's no holes here. Looks like one's thinking about it, just thinking about it, right there. A little circular dot right there. I'm not really sure if that'll clean up, but folks, this is a black convertible top. Once again, it's almost a 20-year-old car, and I give this convertible top a great big thumbs up. Let me come over there and make sure we don't have any other, oh, I see these little dark sections here. Okay, so a couple little marks right here. These are not holes, they're just little marks. Same thing here. And then we got a little something going on here. I don't know what that's all about. I was gonna be like really nifty here and clever and tuck it in, but it won't go. So we're going to leave that alone. And then same mark as the other side is over there, but it's just thinking about it. I've got many moons until those things make a hole of themselves. Yeah, that's supposed to be that way. Yep, we're good. I didn't put the windows all the way up when I closed the convertible top. Oh, the back glass. Besides needing to be cleaned, looks just fine. We're going to go for a quick ride around the block, make sure it brakes, does all the things it's supposed to do, and you know, looking for squeaks and rattles and all that jazz. So we'll be right back. Stick around. Hi folks, here we are. 08 Porsche Carrera 911. Already showed you all these things. Steering wheel looks good. Gear shift looks good. Everything looks awesome. Okay, that was funny. Somebody's doing some drilling behind us. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, first gear, off we go. All right, now we're closed in. All right, real quick, we'll get up to speed. First gear, 4,000 RPM, 40 miles an hour. The brakes, 3, 2, and 1. Got a little traction control, took over up front, felt the suspension do things. Board straight, no yank to the left or right. Super comfortable. The brakes, no wobble in the brake pedal. Nothing strange going on. We're going to go over some speed bumps to listen for some clunks. Speed bump number 1. Then we'll go out on the road. Very nice. I think the comfort of these speed bumps have a lot to do with the recent service. But you got to go to celebritycars.com to figure that out. All right, I got no traffic coming. We'll kind of, let's get it up to speed here just a little bit. Okay, hard right. I'm down in the second gear. This is a quiet little comfy little Porsche. There's no weird, see, it's been a long time since we always get these GT3s in and Rs in and you hit this little wham. You didn't hit anything. What was that noise? That's how I find those. This is a very comfortable little cruiser and it's in great shape, well serviced. We encourage pre-purchase inspections. You want to get it looked at? Give us a call, 702-818-1031. Got Andrew in there, Ryan in there. They're happy to talk to you about any details you'd like clarified, okay? We'll see you next time. Thanks.